Well, folks, pleasant good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you're watching us from. This is Cool TV. We're coming to you live from the Rabat International Airport, where His Excellency Joseph Nyuma Boakai just touched down Liberia after attending the ECOWAS summit in Nigeria that was recently held in Abuja, Nigeria, and His Excellency and his delegates just arrived in Liberia using the Aska Airlines. So folks, and His Excellency Joseph Nyuma Boakai and his delegates, and we are moving towards the terminal. And folks, we are heading into terminal where His Excellency will use and get to the VIP lodge. So folks, be with us as we await His Excellency Joseph Boakai So, Liberians who are watching this live podcast, this is Cool TV, and we are here to bring you live coverage here at the Roberts International Airport, where His Excellency Joseph Boakai formed part of the ECOWAS summit recently held in Nigeria, Abuja.
That's not a foreign minister, the foreign minister who accompanied the presentation of Boakai.
So, folks, please be with us. His Excellency will soon be with us here. But this is Cool TV. My name is Daniel Theophilus Cool, and Liberians are waiting to hear from His Excellency the good news he brought while attending the ECOWAS summit in Nigeria, Abuja.
Not a private airplane.
So folks, there you have it.
The foreign minister.
Good, Larry.
Hey. Là, à Rizumbo.
Ah, je ne me dis rien. En criant de bien, je ne me dis rien.
Secretary, can welcome back. We're here at the Roberts International Airport.
So, welcome back. This is cool, and we are here to receive His Excellency after attending the 65th ordinary section of the ECOWAS summit. So, folks, be with us. Here you see Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Yanti. Sarah Beslo-Yanti.
Here comes the foreign minister.
Don't worry about me, I'm not bothered with that. I don't want no show. I don't open it.
Shaking hands with officials of government who came to receive His Excellency. Hello. So welcome back, folks. This is cool, and welcome back. You just saw His Excellency Nyuma Boakai. We just returned from Nigeria, attending forming part of the ECOWAS summit, where President of Nigeria Bola Tinubu's tenure as chairman of the Authority of Heads of States and the government of ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, draws to a close on July 9th. And leaders and representatives from 12 member states gather at the State House Conference in Abuja for the 63rd Ordinary Summit. And the summit, which commenced at 1 p.m., was to bring forth a new chairman, a new chairperson to lead the regional bloc for the coming years. And however, and one of the biggest news from the recent summit, President Bola Tinubu has been re-elected as chairman of the Economic Community of West African States. About 1 year after he took over the leadership of the regional bloc, and Tinubu was first elected to the position in Guinea-Bissau on July 9, 2023. The Nigerian leader who rose to power in May 2023 was re-elected as the ECOWAS chairman during the recent summit where His Excellency Nyuma Boakai also attended in Nigeria, Abuja. And Bola Tinubu, in his acceptance speech, said he could focus on consolidating the values of democracy and upholding the interests of the regional government. So, folks, we would like to call this a day and wait the president for questioning what he have to say about this summit. Thanks for watching. My name is Phyllis. This is cool.
To the media on the president's visit to Abuja, Nigeria. The president has asked me to convey key highlights of the meeting of the last few days in Abuja. As you know, it was the president's debut meeting of ECOWAS heads of state, and the meeting centered around key issues of peace and security, the issue of regional integration, and of course good governance, and how we continue to run the community, the ECOWAS community, in a way that will support the aspirations of the member states, especially as we all work towards Agenda 2063, looking at shared prosperity. And so the president was with his peers, he was with his brothers. They had closed-door sessions where they were presidents only, where they discussed major security issues. As you know, they discussed the fact that family members, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, have taken steps leaving the community. And of course, it was agreed amongst the brothers that efforts will be made to ensure that the community demonstrates to the three countries that we want to keep a family intact. And so the head of the authority of heads of state delegated the president of Senegal to go as an envoy to the three countries, and also other mechanisms were discussed in terms of how we engage with the sub-region. We also share with them the plans that we have as Liberia to work with our neighbors to revitalize the Mana River Union, and we shared the reinforce and support the ECOWAS family strengthening. The president was able to give a speech to the body, to the ECOWAS body. He also made some very strong interventions in relation to the need for us to work together and remain one family, and to continue to work to keep the three countries in the fold. The heads of state agreed that there was no need for an election of a new head, because they unanimously decided that Nigeria should continue for another year as the head of the authority of heads of state, primarily because the stability and continuity of the leadership right now is important for the sub-region with all of the challenges the sub-region is facing. The meeting also ensured that the president had sidelines where he engaged with other heads of state, and we had bilaterals, especially with Nigeria. We had a bilateral. There were other bilateral conversations between the president and his brothers, and the meeting, we can say, was fruitful. And we can definitely say that Liberia made her presence felt. Preceding the heads of state summit was the meeting of the ministers, where I participated along with Deputy Minister Ibrahim Nye, and of course, an Ambassador Alassane Conte. We put forth Liberia's candidacy for the UN Security Council, and Guinea-Bissau had also put forward their candidacy. And I'm proud and happy to inform you that Guinea-Bissau, as a brother to Liberia, decided to step aside to allow Liberia go, so that would not fight. Not using the word fight in the physical sense, but that would not toss over the candidacy for the UN Security Council for 2026. Graciously, like a family member should, graciously offered to step out, and we agreed that we will all support Guinea-Bissau for 2028-2029, while we'll also support Liberia for 2026-2027 seat on the non-permanent seat of the UN Security Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll take just 2 questions. Yes.
Yes, Madam Minister. My name is Moses Pakulo, and I report from the University of Liberia. Speaking of Agenda 2063, there are, on the salon of the ECOWAS summit, what came out is the fact that the ECOWAS itself is saying that support to the institution itself from member states is a problem, and Liberia has been named as one of the countries that holds the ECOWAS a lot. So what kind of commitment did the president or did the government make to ECOWAS to ensure that we do not fall behind in terms of not living up to our commitments with the ECOWAS body?
So you are right. The discussion did center also on the need for us to continue contributions to the functioning of the community, and the issue of levy. The issue of remittance of levy came up, and we were able to indicate at the ministerial meeting and at the heads of state meeting our commitment. We've demonstrated that commitment this year by already making a payment towards the amount we owe. Right now we're over $18 million, because over a few years, not all of the levy that was collected was remitted to ECOWAS, but we've done a great deal in trying to restore their optimism in us making good on our commitment. We demonstrated it by making a payment this year. We'll continue to make payments and work our way to a place where we would be at a regular level. Also, as you indicated, the standby force of ECOWAS is really important at this time. And so the contributions, the resources needed for ECOWAS also are important to ensure a functional standby force.
Take one more.
My name is one last question. And you talked about the stability of the sub-region and looking at the issue with Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, taking or leaving the ECOWAS group. Is the president concerned about the sanity of ECOWAS and the membership of those countries that have left ECOWAS?
The president is concerned, and he also demonstrated his leadership as an elder statesman in the community by offering Liberia support to help to keep the three countries in. He offered Liberia support and said we stand ready to do whatever is necessary because we want to make sure that ECOWAS remains intact. Let me say this to you. On the continent of Africa, the regional economic commissions, ECOWAS has been known for decades to be the strongest, to be the best. Others try to follow ECOWAS' example. So what's happening now is a concern for the continent, and we want to make sure that Liberia is part of the narrative of trying to have a reversal in the situation that's happening now. There also will be, finally, next year ECOWAS will be 50 years old. There will be a special summit to discuss the future of ECOWAS. We put forth as Liberia, our president indicated that we think there needs to be a review of ECOWAS functionality over the years, so that we go to that summit with information that will help us to shape the ECOWAS we want for the future. In that review, we're calling on former leaders to be part of that review process. So we look at how ECOWAS functioned years ago, the ECOWAS that came into Liberia as ECOMOG and was able to help Liberia stabilize and have our peace today. That same ECOWAS is what we need for the future, but maybe a different ECOWAS that will be able to confront challenges of violence, extremism, and terrorism, and so forth. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
She said just exactly what the president wanted to. She spoke lengthily. Thanks for watching. My name is Theophilus. So this is not, I don't think it's a normal thing for the president or the foreign minister to speak to the press, but I think due to some problems, and which of course is best known to the press secretary, destined the foreign minister to speak to the press. So it's been a pleasure here. This is cool. And my name is Daniel Theophilus. You remember next year makes ECOWAS 50 years. So you listen to the foreign minister and what she said about that. And the president is on his way now.
The president is directly going in his vehicle. He's not speaking to the press. He has already seen these foreign minister who addressed the media and he did.
So the president finally leaves the Roberts International Airport. So folks, that's it.